What's up, my verifieds? This is the 4th episode of 𝗬𝗃 without taking damage, so I think you know how this series works by now. Anyway, the other guy can start rambling now or whatever.
This is the 4th part to my 𝗬𝗃 without taking damage series, so if you haven't seen the previous 3 parts, I would highly recommend watching them, as I covered all the areas before the ones that I am talking about today. Last time we left off with almost enough towers to reach even Zone 3, but today we're not talking about the spatial system. We are coming back to the Great Inferno, and taking a look at the Garden of Eeshöl, Ring 5, and Ring 6. Now, I'm just gonna tell you this will be the final part where I take a look at 3 areas in one part. Enjoy while it lasts, I guess. I want to keep these episodes shorter as they have been getting very long as of recent.
But anyway, that's everything I have to say. I don't have much to say this episode because, well, there's not much to say. Let's just move on to the missed towers because there's quite a lot of them and they're quite complicated, so yeah.
Welcome to Missed Towers! This time around, there are 8 towers that I will cover in this section, ranging from Part 1 to Part 3. Yeah, there are still towers from Part 1 that I haven't done. Oops. But no need to be disappointed in ourselves, because it's time to check out Tower of Heck. Surprisingly enough, the first ever tower is possible to complete damageless, but you can't use classic methods to beat this tower. Last time we left off with floor 9 in this forced damage section, but to get past it, you have to backtrack a bit and do a wall-less heli-lag high jump up to this platform. If you fall, you can easily save yourself on floor 8. Then there's another KB section here with the 𝗘𝘅𝗁𝗀𝗀 ladder. Here you need to use a sideways heli-lag high jump, but be careful with the 𝗘𝘅𝗁𝗀𝗀𝗀 on top of the platform. Also, this section has an invisible platform, so yeah, it is possible.
Trust me, I'm not hacking. If I was, then I'd openly talk about it because no 𝗬𝗃 staff watches my videos.
The real challenge comes at floor 10. This weird net section has 3 ways of completing it. You can either do a wall-less heli-lag high jump on a 1 stud up to this wall, do a wall hop on this platform, and do a LHJ on a considerably more comfortable platform, or just go all the way with wall hops and wall hop the whole section. I personally chose the middle option, but it's up to you to pick your poison. This section is extremely annoying, especially due to the dumb 1 stud platform always damaging me. But yeah, once you get past that, the difficulty drops down a lot. There is only 1 intentional skip you need to perform at the falling platform section, and then the tower is very easy from there. I am both surprised and not surprised that this tower is possible, but yeah, I did it. It wasn't very fun. For the next tower though, we are sticking to Ring 1 and revisiting Tower of Killjoys. We left off with this 𝗘𝘅𝗁𝗀𝗀𝗀 section, but it is somehow possible to do. To get past this section, you must get into a ledge grabbing position by copying exactly what I do and getting as close to the edge as you can, with alignment keys and everything and T-pose equipped, and then very slowly gliding across with the D key. It's pretty inconsistent, but it somehow works. I have no idea how. Up next is floor 2, with the turret section. The only advice I can give you is to just time your jumps and to not be dumb.
Oh, wait, right, I'm talking to 𝗬𝗃 players. Oops, silly me, I forgot.
And then we have this section. For some odd reason, there is a very conveniently placed Thanos head mesh, which is also collidable. So jump on that and then jump onto the ladder. And then the final hard section is the outside. Like with the beginning of this floor, you will need to learn the timing and positioning of the turret, and you need to be very careful with your movement. After this, things get considerably easier and plunge back to normal difficulty, at least until you reach floor 5's outside section. Oh, then it goes back to nightmare difficulty. You need to go to the 2nd or 3rd platform, and then heli-lag high jump over the 𝗘𝘅𝗁𝗀𝗀𝗀 spinner, then bolt to the 5th platform and you should be safe. The rest of the floor is fairly easy. But after that floor, there's only 1 more obstacle for you to do before the wind pad. I'm not joking, we'll be skipping 5 floors of this tower. You have to get to this part on the frame, jump off, then turn your arm to the wall at this exact point, and with some luck on your side, you can beat Tower of Killjoys without taking damage. Well, that was very frustrating. This means that all the towers below Intense in Ring 1 now are completed. And speaking of intense towers, we are taking a look at the Tower of Increasing Stress. This tower was recently nerfed for the no damage challenge, but I will leave a link in the description for the original route you were supposed to take. But for now, let's see how to do it the modern way. Last time we left off with one of the buttons being impossible, but you can skip it by taking the middle path and performing a heli-lag high jump here. But this tower isn't easy. Oh no. This tower is still really hard because of floor 10. Oh boy, floor 10 sucks. Floor 10 is basically a speedrun floor. You have to go as fast as you possibly can to reach these 4 safe spots. You will have to utilize these spots in order to complete this floor. Making it from the 3rd safe spot to the last is the hardest part, as if you mess up one tiny thing, like being bounced by a tightrope, it can end your whole run, so that's exciting. But after you get past that, you are finally safe. You just need to complete some simple obstacles, and then you complete the Tower of Increasing Stress damageless. Believe me, I had to complete a much harder version of this tower, but thankfully due to some help, this tower was heavily nerfed. It's time to get weird and feel nostalgic, because we are taking a look at the Citadel of Weird Nostalgia. Would you believe me if I told you that this series started nearly a year ago? I wonder if any of you have nostalgia for the first part. Well anyway, let's take a look at what witchcraft you're meant to utilize to complete this Citadel. The first few floors are very easy, and I have covered some of them before, like Tower of Anger and Tower of Rage. The difficulty spikes once you reach 𝗘𝘅𝗁𝗍𝗀𝗀. For the first X pusher, you have to time your movements well. I recommend going as far to the right edge of the X pusher as you comfortably can, and looking from the side. This section gets easier the more you do it. Then for the next spinner section, you once again have to time your movement. You have to line yourself, wait for the spinner to go past you, and wait until it's about halfway to the wall, then just hold down the D key and hope for the best. Then be careful of the KB spinner maze. There are rest spots, although there are less of them than TOTF. Just time your jumps right and copy my movement in the footage, and you should be good on this section. And finally, near the end of the floor, please go the intended route and use a wall hop skip to skip an annoying KB section. It makes this floor much easier. Continue the Citadel as normal until you reach this checkpoint. This is where things get wacky. You'll see why I called the Citadel of Wacky Nostalgia in the previous part.
Okay, but let's be real here. Citadel of Wacky Nostalgia is just a much better name. You can't change my mind about that.
Now you want to heli-clip through this wall to get into the dropper section. Do the obstacles, but for this last jump, ledge grab and jump off. You can get damaged if you do it the normal way. Then climb up to floor 19, do the outside section, and jump off here and land on the Tower of Traps outside section. Be mindful of the TOFAF spinner, it can sometimes damage you if you timed your fall wrong. Go back to the inside of the Citadel and jump down to this jump at the end of Tower of Eternal Suffering. Now you can continue the Citadel normally until TOFAF. If you don't know, the 13th floor, taken from Tower of Falling and Failing, has a giant 𝗘𝘅𝗁𝗀 spinner over a maze. There are 2 paths that you can get depending on your luck. Follow whichever path you get and use Heli Lodge whenever you can. To do a Heli Lodge, turn your character so it would face the wall, jump, and equip helicopter powers. This trick works best with 2 stud gaps, although it can work with 1 stud gaps, it just might clip you out. Both paths have their pros and cons, but one path allows you to see the 𝗘𝘅𝗁𝗀𝗀 spinner better, and the other lets you Heli Lodge more.
It's just a game of pick your advantage, honestly. Except it's with a 25-floor Citadel.
Once you get past the TOFAF floor, continue the Citadel as normal until you unlock the Tower of Madness floor. Then drop back down to the TOFAF safety net and clip through this spot in the wall and land on one of the outside sections. Then through these outside sections, go back inside and drop down to the blue particle 𝗘𝘅𝗁𝗀 on the Tower of Overcoming Hatred floor.
If you're a daredevil, you can backtrack the TOFAF maze. That's a challenge.
Now you will be teleported back to the checkpoint you touched earlier. Heli-clip through the wall, do the dropper section, do the TOFT outside section, and then go inside the Citadel and drop down to the top of the TOM floor. You can once again continue the Citadel as intended, and this time for a while, up until the Tower of Despair floor, also known as floor 22. This is when the difficulty picks back up from where it left off at the 𝗘𝘅𝗁𝗍𝗀 floor. For the first hard section, I recommend doing this high jump skip to skip the beginning of this floor. The only hard part of this floor is this section. The first part isn't too hard, only requiring you to do the 𝗘𝘅𝗁𝗀𝗀 wraparounds over a slow conveyor, but the second part of this section is a lot harder. You must land on the edge of the 1-stud platform and wrap around the thin 𝗘𝘅𝗁𝗀. Repeat this for a couple more jumps, and you get to floor 23, also known as the calm before the storm. Floor 24 is arguably the hardest floor of this Citadel normally, but no damage? Well, it's even worse. There are a lot of 𝗘𝘅𝗁𝗀𝗀 wraps to start off this floor, although by now you've probably done a lot of these. Just use T-pose and position yourself accordingly. The real madness is the floor 24 outside maze. Everything here is a 𝗘𝘅𝗁𝗀𝗀 and it is stressful. Make sure to use T-pose almost throughout this entire part, otherwise you are doomed. There isn't too much strategy to this section, just make sure to look at your arms all the time and take it slowly. The ending of this part is the only part that has a strategy. Make sure to unequip T-pose, otherwise one of your arms will touch a kill break, then carefully, while lightly tapping a movement key, make it to the edge of the platform. Then equip T-pose and jump to the platform next to you. And that's floor 24 outside for you. You do have to skip the green button off the inside of the floor, and to do that you have to perform a heli-clip at this wall. And yes, this means you skip the big kill break spinner, which is nice. Alright, so now for the final stretch, Tower of Heck. Now don't even bother trying to take the normal path. Instead, wall hop around almost the entire frame to get to the platform. Now doesn't that sound like fun? Once you get past the wall hop, the final obstacle awaits you, and it is the hardest in this citadel. Align yourself with the edge of the falling platforms, face backwards, get to the third falling platform from the left, start holding down S and turn off shift lock, hit the spacebar, and hope you climb onto this platform. After that, there are a few more obstacles that you need to do, but after that, victory is yours. That was a nightmare. I can't believe I completed this Citadel damageless. When I first found out that this Citadel was possible, I didn't think I would ever do it, but look at me now. Good luck to anyone who attempts to beat this Citadel damageless. Anyway, it's time to return to Ring 3. We're taking a look at Tower of Deep Sighing. Recently, Gamator made this tower and Tower of Terrible Mondays possible damageless, which is awesome.
Huh, so I guess this is why all the zone releases are taking so long. It is because Gamma has more important things to do, as we can see. Thank you, Gamma. This is very cool.
Most of this tower is easily sight-readable damageless, like most Gamma towers, so I won't be talking about it in detail, although here's how to do the hardest section. Yeah, this spinner part gave me a lot of failed attempts, but that's the tower for you, not too bad. Same story for our next tower, Tower of Terrible Mondays. The only section that made me confused was the zipline section at 10. Once the killbrick spinner is in this position, you can jump on the zipline. This will give you the best chance to complete this section. But yeah, that's another tower in Ring 4 completed, yay! To Dad, I still really miss you. Mommy says you're not at the store anymore, but instead in Ring 4. Yeah, this tower is possible. So it turns out there is a really advanced wall hop skip you can do to skip this kill brick. To perform it, you must wall hop in between this wall and this wedge, and just jump over the kill break with the wall hop. I also highly recommend T-pose for this skip, as it makes the section a lot more consistent, although it is possible without it. Then the only other damage bricks are at floor 8, but you can skip them with an intentional wall hop and then corner flip skip, so that's helpful. But yeah, I don't mind more easily damageless towers. It's a nice break from the madness I had to do for Kaun. Welcome back to challenging outs. God damn it, I did it again. Anyway, Tower of Traversing the Tropics is possible damageless, as it turns out. And no, Tower of Cyclonic Isles still is impossible to do this thing. Anyway, the last time we were in this tower, we got to this killbrick spinning monstrosity. But to get past it, you need to get to the second platform, and then go to the opposite direction of where the killbrick contraption will be moving, and then just rush to the end. That wasn't so bad apparently. But how do you complete the truss from the previous part, you might be asking? Well, in order to do that, you need to jump off the truss to get to this platform, hit this button, and then drop down to the first floor. Then heli-clip to the frame and drop down to floor 1 or floor 10. Then heli-clip in, heli-clip again, and welcome to the final floor of the tower. There's still one last killbrick section though, but it's not as bad as the previous part we took a look at. Basically, you have to wait until 55 seconds into the tower, go through the teleporter, and do the section normally. At least that's what I did. Sometimes the spinner can be luck based, but after that, there are no more kill breaks and you can beat 𝗘𝘅𝘁𝗃 without taking damage. And you don't get kicked for this? I'm really starting to question EToH checkpoints.
Enough rambling already. It feels like the Mist Tower section is getting longer and longer in each video. You know what, let's just move on to Garden of Eeshöl before I experience an existential crisis.
Hey there, it's Garden of Eeshöl, the sub-realm that I apparently didn't know was out. This is one of the most modern additions so far at the time of making this video, so this will be an interesting area to check out. So what are we waiting for? Let's start analyzing. The easiest steeple in GOE is Steeple of Steeple of Beginner's Journey. This steeple is really easy to complete damageless. There are only a few kill breaks in this tower, and most of them are pretty easy to avoid. So that's an easy start to our journey into this garden. Up next, Steeple of Devil's Snare. There are only two sections that require attention, and they're both at floor 4. For this first section, you have to do a wall hop over here. Then for the second part, you need to be careful with this moving platform section. Just keep in mind that the final kill brick pole is in the middle and you need to unequip T-pose there. But yeah, really easy. Alright, so the next steeple is Steeple of Infectious Foliage. This steeple uses a good amount of kill bricks, but most of them aren't too hard to understand. Floor 2 has this weird spinner that looks complicated, but you just have to go through all the cycles of the spinner and it should be easy. Floor 4 has a weird way to complete this section. You have to face in the same direction the platform is facing, otherwise you will take damage for some reason. The rest of the steeple is easy to understand, so if there's something you don't know how to do, you can check out the full runs video. However, the difficulty is about to increase a lot, since we are entering the Steeple of Overgrowth. This steeple contains a lot of kill bricks, and you need to watch your step nearly everywhere. While I won't cover everything in this steeple, since it is likely that by now, you should be able to understand the basics of kill brick dodging. This is the only section that stumped me for a bit, but basically you just want to jump over the gap in the spinner, and then it's easy from there. Also, when you're at the final dropper, go to the corner that I went through, as it is the most comfortable to jump down from in my opinion. But yeah, this steeple reminded me a lot of Tower of Immense Ire Damageless, just in the form of a steeple.
Despite popular belief, I actually didn't beat this steeple at night, but for some reason I'm recording this section at night. Also, the lighting looks really weird because of the monitor. I don't know how to fix that.
Steeple of Nightfall is really easy to complete damageless. In fact, I can't even think of any hard sections in this tower, so that's an easy half a tower point for us. Yippee! I mean, the only section that messed me up was this section at floor 3, but it's like mid-medium, so like we're gaming up in here. Another very super duper epic easy peasy steeple. It's time to meet the king, or queen, it's 2022 but you can't discriminate, of unnecessary kill bricks, Steeple of Greenhouse Placidity. There are a lot of decorative kill bricks in this steeple, and they can easily mess you up. There aren't any special tricks you have to do, so watch out for moving platforms, watch out for this roof platform on floor 2, and don't be stupid.
Damn it! I keep forgetting that I'm talking to EToH players! Maybe I should get checked out for dementia. I don't know.
So, lick. Get it? XD? I'm kind of running out of things to say here. Like, there's a lot of kill brick sections, but like, I don't think they require any commentary. So I guess instead, I'll give you a fun fact about this steeple. Fun fact, there was originally supposed to be a secret ending, but it was scrapped because the dialogue for it broke.
Hey, wait a minute, are you trying to ruin our complicated relationship with 𝗏𝗏𝗡?
No, why would I?
I've got my eye on you.
Okay, weirdo. Anyway, up next on the chopping block, Steeple of Feudal Foliage. Has no kill bricks, so that's a nice break before the next hard steeple. Steeple of Various Vivariums. This steeple is really easy to complete damageless. There's only one hard section, which is the section with spheres.
Yeah, I'm not very good at handling balls. That's probably why it took a couple of attempts.
So, nice. I did it. Good job. It's time for the big one, Steeple of Flourishing Wastelands. This is either the second hardest or hardest steeple in Garden of Eeshöl. I'll let you decide if this or Steeple of Overgrowth is harder. At floor 1, you have to perform a long jump skip on the roof of the house to this platform. While it isn't necessary, it skips a really hard kill brick section. Floor 2 has a decently difficult moving platform section, but it's nothing crazy. Just try to navigate the kill bricks, it's not that hard. Floor 3 has a hard kill brick section, but you can cheese it by jumping off to this platform here, performing a hard head hitter jump to the 2 X pushers, and then backtracking to the start of the section. Then you can climb up the truss and get to the other 3 floors of the steeple, which will be significantly harder than the first 3. At floor 4, you must come to the first time warp button, and then heli LHJ up to floor 5. And then the hardest floor, floor 5. The difficulty mainly comes from 2 sections, so let's go over them. The first section requires you to dodge these kill brick parts normally, then you want to start wall hopping on the frame, and then when you reach this platform, wall hop, and as soon as you hit space, hold down S and pray you jump onto the safe platform. If you did that, there are now 2 routes you can take. You can either take the wall hop route, where you jump from this platform, wrap around the wall, do a wall hop, and jump onto this platform, or you could go next to the elevator sewer thing, heli lag high jump up to this platform, continue normally for a bit, drop down to this platform, and continue the steeple as normal. Pick your poison, basically.
If you're wondering why you need to drop down after you LHJ, well, let's just say I learned the hard way.
And finally, floor 6. Floor 6's difficulty mostly comes from the final stretch, so I will only talk about that. For the first part, you can skip it by doing a high jump skip and then jumping in between the kill bricks. This is easier than the normal route in my opinion. And then there's this interesting kill brick spinner. I'd recommend not overthinking it and treating it like a normal single kill brick spinner instead of 5 different spinners. It's a lot easier that way. And after that, it shouldn't be hard to reach the wind pad of 𝗧𝗶𝗺𝗀𝗀 damageless. That was weird to say the least. I could have had only 5 attempts on this steeple because I fluked all the hard parts, but then I failed the final stretch. I am very smart. Okay, time to tone down the damageless difficulty and complete the only tech team steeple, Steeple of Buoyant Automations. This steeple does have kill bricks, it's just they are very easy to avoid. The only one that can mess you up is this floor 3 spinner that can confuse you, and this floor 4 kill brick net. So hey, a free intense, I don't mind. And finally, the last, and technically, first tower, Tower of Perilous Antipode. There are only a few complicated parts in this tower that can mess you up, so let's go over them. Floor 3 contains this weird kill brick. To get past it, go close to the edge of the part and use T-pose. At floor 5, there is a kill brick below, but you just have to not go down there and time your jump from this platform instead. In between floor 6 and floor 7, there is a wobbly platform. Please take your time with it and align it so you don't take damage. Another part of floor 7 is the turret block section thing. Yeah, just make sure you jump over the kill bricks and not wobble the part below you too much. Floor 8 contains a stressful X pusher section. To get past it, push the X pusher right next to the kill brick spinners, wait until they get into this position, and then push and pray. Floor 9 contains the Plants vs Zombies section. Follow the path I'm taking to avoid taking damage, and make sure to not touch any of the plants apart from the walnut. Fun fact, this section used to have a reference related to me, but it was removed for some reason.
Tower creators really hate me. More tower creators are willing to make their tower impossible damageless than make it possible.
And after that, only the floor 10 moving platform spinner can catch you, but it shouldn't be that hard. And that's the last tower completed in this subrealm. Garden of Eeshöl's steeple and tower check is finished. 13 out of 13 steeples and tower are possible damageless, which is a massive achievement. While this might sound very good, this only gave us 7 tower points. I mean, it's obviously better than nothing, considering it will help us to progress. Anyway, let's move on to the next area. Welcome back to the Rings of 𝗬𝗄. Ring 5 is the last ring that was made under the previous owner's, Obertun's, supervision, so that means it's the last bad ring. Okay, I'm just joking, but anyways, let's see what Ring 5, Anger, has to offer for us. Tower of Nice Views is the first tower we will take a look at.
Fun fact, there isn't a single nice view you can see from this tower. More proof that 𝗬𝗄 just freaking misleads you, man.
At floor 10, there is a kill brick cube you have to jump on to get to the wind pad. You can literally see the wind pad right there. Why does this thing exist? Let's get even more disappointed, because we're taking a look at Tower of Getting Kinda Disappointed. Like the name suggests, we will get stopped in our tracks. Floor 6 is impossible to pass damageless, so now I am kinda disappointed. Up next, Tower of Rigged Success. It is, once again, not possible damageless. Who would have thought? At floor 6, there is the infamous survival section, but after it, you jump onto a kill brick platform. Yeah, you can get past everything before it, don't ask how. Tower of Downward Mobility. When you're at the top, the only way is down. Anyway, floor 4, or floor 6, depending on who you ask, exists. What a catastrophe. Fortunately, our next tower is Tower of Obvious Chaos. But unfortunately, this tower is also impossible damageless. At floor 5, the third balloon button is impossible to do due to the direction the spinners are spinning. Now this is epic.
Are all these towers impossible damageless or what?
Well, no, but this is certainly not the tower that breaks the impossible chain. At floor 7, there's this thing. Yeah, good luck getting past this without taking damage. Tower of Extraordinary Adventures, the tower in Ring 5, yay, yeah. You can get to floor 9 before all your hope for being this tower damageless gets smashed into pieces. There are kill brick poles here, and you need to jump on them, but if you do, you take damage.
That's a certified epic fail moment. Play the annoying orange laugh sound effect, please.
Ignoring that epic fail, it's time to move on to the last intense tower of this ring, Tower of Tokyo Heights. This tower doesn't contain many kill bricks. In fact, there is only one single section that has kill bricks, and it's impossible to do, normally. But you can use a wall hop skip on this wall and not only skip those kill bricks, but also the outside section. After that, the tower's pretty easy, but hey, I can't complain.
𝗬𝗍𝘀𝗀 from good ol' 𝗦𝗬𝗀𝗀. I don't know, taking damage on first jump on Toga.
Thank you, Dummy Plays, for enlightening me with this information. You are my beloved because of this.
Tower of Fractured Obstacles, our next tower, is possible though. There's only one point of the tower that is hard to do damageless, and it's the 2 floor 5 buttons. To get the first button, you must do a weird high jump on this section. So for this part, you have to wall hop in between the kill brick parts, or the wraparounds. It is as hard as it sounds, but thankfully it's the only difficult section in this tower. Then for the second button, you have to get up to the top of the head hitter spam and perform a skip. And afterwards, again, is just the regular tower. Well, that's the first Remorseless tower completed in the No Damage series. That's exciting. But anyway, we're not done with citadels in this episode. That's right, Citadel of Contrasting Regions is possible damageless, and it's slightly less complicated than you think. Alright, so the first floors with kill bricks, technically, are the desert floors, although you are meant to avoid all the kill bricks here anyway, since they instantly kill you. The real challenge in the Citadel comes from the basement floors. You can't fail the basement, otherwise you will take damage. This applies to all 3 basement floors, even the netted ones. The only basement floor I will be focusing on though is the second floor. To get past this floor, there are 2 heli-clips you need to perform in order to not take damage. For the first one, you have to heli-clip through this wall while facing slightly to the left in order to avoid the kill bricks on the right. For the second heli-clip, you need to clip through this wall and land on this invisible platform here. Then you need to heli-lag high jump up to one of these 2 invisible platforms. And after that, you just need to complete the basement, not take damage on the hell floors, and complete the Citadel. That wasn't as hard as our previous Citadels, but man, this was painful to do. GG guys! Alright, it's soul crushing time.
Nah, it's always soul crushing time. Beating these towers damageless always crushes my soul after I'm done.
Ignoring that, Tower of Icy Blizzards becomes impossible at floor 6. There's a spinner with kill brick parts you must jump on, so how fortunate. I don't want to do this tower damageless. TOIB victors can agree with me on this one. And last, but certainly least, Tower of Frightening Nightmares. This tower becomes impossible at floor 1. Or floor 2, I don't know. It doesn't matter anyway, there are many force damage sections here, so yeah. Ring 5 has now been fully checked. 3 out of the 13 towers are possible damageless, which is kinda funny honestly. There are close to no towers possible in this ring, but that's okay because we already got a lot of tower points before coming to ring 5, and we can already access ring 6. We have arrived at ring 6. When I first started this series, I thought it would end somewhere here, but hey, look how far we've progressed. I haven't beaten many towers in ring 6 normally, so it'll be really interesting to see how I'll perform here with my unfamiliarity with this ring. Well, without further ado, let's jump into the first tower. The first tower in terms of difficulty order is Tower of Friendly Jumps. This tower doesn't have a single kill brick, so that's a free tower point that I will gladly take. Tower of Environmental Pain literally starts off with a kill brick walk. That's just a straight up cruel joke to this challenge. Anyway, you should stop laughing, because the next tower is Tower of Radiant Realms. This tower has sight-readable kill brick gameplay, kinda like GOE towers, but there is one spot that I'd advise you to pay attention to, and it's this conveyor section at 2. Other than that, this tower is really easy and is another tower point for us. Okay, it's Tower of Twisted Inquisition's turn to be checked up. Tower of Twisted Inquisition has a mega skip that allows you to skip everything from floor 4 to most of floor 8. So that's what you have to use, I think. Then at floor 9, you have to heli-clip through this wall behind the home, walk over to the pink floor, and then heli-clip back in. And that's it, just do the final floor normally and you win. Checkpoints in 𝗬𝗀 are weird, man. Oh boy, it's the intense towers of ring 6, also known as towers that I really don't want to do anyway. So instead of speedrunning the psychologically unsafe towers section, I'll speed through these 3 towers instead. Tower of a Depressing Future is impossible because of floor 3. Next, Tower of Intense Solar Chaos is impossible due to floor 2. There are force damage bricks here. Next, Tower of Dispersed Rooms is not possible damageless due to floor 5. You need to phase through this kill brick wall, so how unfortunate. Anyway, time to go back to the difficult stuff. It's the hardest tower in ring 6 damageless, Tower of Inner and Outer Scaling. Alright, this one's gonna be hard and long.
If you're thinking about something dirty, that's more on you than on me.
So strap in! Floor 1 starts off with Balloon! Okay, that was easy, but then, oh my lord, what is this monstrosity?
You can either be a crazy person and do this section the intended way, or you could tilt the platform slightly and wall hop along the frame. Yeah, your options are limited, but the second option is 100 times easier. Then there's another section at the time section that starts at 2, which has this thing. You can either wall hop the frame or do this section normally like a nerd. After floor 2, there aren't any menacing kill bricks until floor 8. For the beginning of the floor, you can pass these wobbly platforms normally, but if you don't want to do them or they are on the wrong side, come to this platform, lag clip through this wall, high jump up to this platform and lag clip through the wall and land on the non-kill brick platform. Then there is this thing, the moving kill brick, also known as the buggiest moving platform I have ever seen in my life. Just follow what I do on screen, I have no idea how to describe this. Floor 9 is next up and it only has one conveyor section. I highly recommend not using T-pose for this conveyor, as your arm can extend too far and touch the bigger kill brick, so don't T-pose guys. Also, use T-pose on the wraparounds here, you can thank me later. And now, the final stretch, floor 10. The most obvious hard looking section is the green challenge, but you can just use T-pose to make it really easy. Your arms go above the kill bricks and make this section literally free. The blue challenge can be skipped by performing the skip shown on screen, although it is possible normally, just a lot more stressful and annoying. Now, good job on doing everything on this floor, but wait, there's 2 force damage bricks on the inside of this floor. Well, too bad, looks like we can't get past it. We can instead drop down to floor 9, complete the obstacles, redo the entire button challenge section, jump up to the frame, go to the other way, and jump down past the obstacles. And now, you're past it. That was easy now, wasn't it? And well, after that, unless you're a stupid idiot like me and fail a high medium jump, then you can complete the Tower of Inner and Outer Scaling damageless. I had extremely horrible luck on this tower. My friend did this tower damageless on his first attempt. I am clearly very good at this game. If you think it gets easier from here, then you're slightly correct, because we are taking a look at Tower of Niflheim. Tower of Niflheim is fully possible damageless, surprisingly, so let me explain how. First off, floor 1 has 2 kill brick wraparounds. Just wrap around backwards or with T-pose and you should be good. Next, the floor 2 spinners. The first spinner you can jump over normally, but with the second one, you have to go to the middle portion of the spinner, wait for the spinner to arrive on the right side, jump from the middle to the right, and jump to the platform furthest to the right. It sounds complicated, but it's really not that bad. Then floor 4's castle has a kill brick floor, but just don't fall in and you're good to go. The biggest difficulty spike in this tower is floor 6. At the start of floor 6, we have this weird spinner section, so how do we get past it? To complete this section without taking damage, you first have to turn the same way as me, time the jump to the spinner so there would be as little room for you to jump on it as possible, then instantly jump off the spinner, turn off shift lock, try to wrap around the wall, and pray that you land on this one stud platform. If you manage to complete that, it's really easy from there. Floor 10 has 2 kill brick wraps that are pretty easy, do them the same as floor 1's wraps, and then the kill brick chain. I would recommend jumping to this exact spot with T-pose and then maneuver the chain appropriately. And once you get past that, you win. You can also beat this tower without T-pose, it's basically the same experience. At least this didn't take that long.
Hey, wait a minute, this is a scythe, not a citadel. Who tricked me? Wait, there's gameplay? Okay, this is strange, but I'm not complaining. I'm like an 80-year-old grandpa trying to find out how technology works. I don't understand EToH, man.
This citadel becomes impossible at floor 5 due to these jumps. As you can see, I couldn't get to this part for a while, so I gave up and I'm using this as my footage. Tower of Strategic Mechanics.
Best extreme.
Okay. Anyway, Tower of Strategic Mechanics is not possible damageless, unsurprisingly, due to floor 3A. It's time for the final tower of this video, Tower of Impossible Movement. It is impossible due to floor 8. I mean, did you expect it to be possible? Well, it's the end of Ring 6, and nearly the end of this long episode. 5 out of the 12 towers are possible to complete damageless, and that's nearly half the towers. This is a nice upgrade from the previous ring, and if we keep up with this pace, it might be possible to reach Ring 9, which would be unbelievable.
But yeah, that's it. After nearly 30 possible towers completed, it's over. Now, I have some news for future EToH No Damage episodes.
So, just saying, the release date for this part was always public. Damjon picked the date for this video, and he picked July 12th. Now, at least for a bit, I don't ever want to do this again. If it wasn't for the summertime, I would have no chance of finishing this video. But anyway, I will be taking a break not only from the EToH No Damage challenge, but also video making for a bit. Part 5 will only come out near the end of the year most likely, so in the last 3 months. Also, I forgot to mention this, but I bought 𝗧𝗊 on No More Damage EToH. I'll be using this as my light item for some time at least. And one last announcement for the no damage tryhards. I have made an official Joopitah no damage spreadsheet. This spreadsheet contains possible towers, their difficulties, and how many attempts it took me to beat them. It is currently still a work in progress, but I will put it in the pinned comment if you're curious, or spam it in the premiere chat.
And that's the end of part 4. What an eventful video. But anyway, remember everyone, stay in school, don't do drugs, and never consistently play Joopitah for over 10 hours a day. Things get really funny after a while. I'll see you in the next one.